Hello and welcome to Filmed in Utah. I'm your host, Warren Workman. Of course, Filmed in Utah is the only weekly television show that brings you the very best in Utah's film scene. And seeing as it's really the end of the year, I need to show you the very best of Filmed in Utah. Now, the only way to do that is to take all my favorite interviews and compact them all down into about 30 minutes. But that's not going to be good enough for me because everything we're doing on Filmed in Utah, we want to make it bigger and better. So I'm going to show you some of my selections from the best of Filmed in Utah, and I'm going to make a DVD available for you as well. If you want to support Filmed in Utah, you can purchase this DVD on our website or at the Filmed in Utah Awards that are coming up on February 16th. But for right now, let's show you what I can fit into 30 minutes, the best of Filmed in Utah.
Well, you know, Slamdance was started in 1995. It was a little bit at the time in revolt to how commercial Sundance was getting, but it was really about, you know, the independent film business was becoming kind of commercial, and the true independents were kind of being left out of Sundance. So when you look back, it kind of makes sense that we started in that moment. So we kind of filled this little vacuum gap of offering, you know, low-budget, first-time independent filmmakers an alternative platform in Park City during festival time. So it was really about, you know, keeping it small, keeping it intimate. We really don't have the funds to grow in Park City. It's hard to grow bigger in Park City. So for 18 years, we've pretty much been the same size physically, and we've pretty much had the same number of films, but that intimacy has really worked for us because filmmakers, all the filmmakers and the staff really get to know each other closely. We get to help them, and we really talking to them also about their next film and, you know, what steps can they take to, you know, make their next film, whether their current film gets distribution or not. It's about, you know, furthering your career. So there's a lot of times here at Slamdance, filmmakers meet each other and they'll kind of get together on another project, and 2 years later, boom, we're coming back, and a producer of one Slamdance film is now working as a producer with another Slamdance director, and, you know, maybe they'll end up at Sundance, and it's that sense of community and trust and camaraderie, really. That's probably the one intact thing at Slamdance that has kept on going.
Well, it's always part of our package how we promote the state. We promote it with crew, with talent, with locations, with incentives, and easy access for flights, you know, an international airport, so all that thing. But specifically, with talent, there's a number of ways we do that. One is through our Spot On commercial contest. When the filmmakers are making the commercials for us that air during Park City TV, they're putting local actors in those, and then we're getting a chance to showcase those actors, if the commercial required an actor, you know, here on Park City TV in front of you know, everybody that's coming to the festival. The actors are always represented in every piece of marketing that we do. There'll always be, you know, crew and talent and all that. I don't ever try to single out one group and say, I'm going to promote you more than another. It has to be, you know, what are the top 5 things? And talent is always one of the top 5 things. And another thing that I hear a lot of, when directors come in and start doing auditions, I hear this over and over again when I go to the set. They say, I had no idea you had this many actors. I can't believe how many parts I can actually cast here. I didn't think I could, but now that I've met your people, I know I can. And we just have to do a better job of getting the word out that these things are being said.
A lot of people who watch our show are aspiring to be either actors or filmmakers. What can you guide them to say, hey, this is the key to what's helped me in my career? Maybe you should apply it to your life.
You know what, it's like, for me, it was perseverance. You know, it's like, I hear a lot of people, you know, I don't want to be an extra. Well, you know, it's like, I was blessed and I just kind of got Taft-Hartley and stuff on Runaway Train because I could handle Eric. And
not many people can do that.
And I got but, you know, basically for the first 5 years of my career, I was a glorified extra. I was basically inmate number 1, you know, and I loved it. I was making scale, you know, and then the first time I got a name, I was Art Sinella in a movie called Death Wish 4 with Charles Bronson, and I said, wow, I'm like a real actor now. I'm not inmate number one.
Now tell me about your character in Diablos Crow.
Okay, I play the character of Jack, and you know, he's a soldier who's kind of the last one left on his side of the fight, and as far as he's concerned, the last one left on Earth. I mean, like 8 weeks has passed, nothing's happened. He shot 1 or 2 guys, and he's kind of wondering what's going on, and he suddenly, after all this time of this utter silence, he hears the sound of a woman humming, and so he goes and investigates, and he thinks, this is it. It's me and you. And she's the enemy. So he's got to figure out what to do.
Yeah, it sounds like a major clash in cultures. You're going to have a major clash in belief systems, all sorts of things. How are you preparing for a role like this?
I grew up in the South.
Mm-hmm. That helps.
Preparation done.
Like, let's see here. A white woman and a black guy. No, they go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? All the time. Never a problem, right?
Yeah, never.
Never.
So,
no one ever has a little raised eyebrow at that.
Yeah, not at all. So, I mean, I've seen this sort of thing before, and so it didn't take a whole lot of preparation. But having a gun in my hand while I'm facing a white woman, I'm not accustomed to. So that's a new one.
So talking about differences from LA and Salt Lake, right. not packing heat everywhere you go. Right. That's kind of one of the benefits. How many of these types of shoots do you normally see in a year?
What do you mean, these types?
Any type of shoots where we have a professional video crew coming out on a location, because you work as a producer for a pretty large company, with Unicity, or how do you say it?
It's pronounced Unicity, yeah.
Unicity, okay.
Yeah, I produce for them, and I've just started doing that over the last 8 months, and before that I was acting full time. So, as far as being on set with a large crew, or even a small crew like this, or a professional crew, which is what really matters.
That's all that matters.
That's been. That was pretty much a regular thing for me. It's nothing new.
So you would say that we probably have some pretty well-experienced professional crews here in Utah?
Oh, the best. Absolutely. Yeah. I've worked in several markets. I've worked in California. I've worked in the Dallas market in Texas and Austin. I've also worked in Florida and several markets down there. And all of this as an actor for the last 20 years or so. And the crews here are on par with anything or better than anything anybody else can do.
I love it. So if you're out there in LA or New York and you're thinking, hey, I need to come to Utah because they have beautiful locations, well, guess what? We have everything else. We have the actors, we have the crew, we have really everything that you need to film in the state.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Tired of all those books that are piling up? Then get rid of those stacks and pick up the Dédicaces ebook reader. With it, you'll get 300 classic books, 25 audiobooks, 10 pieces of music, and 2 audio conferences. The Dédicaces ebook reader allows you to download hundreds of books from the internet and read them wherever and whenever you want. View videos, photos, and listen to your favorite music. Get a bonus leather carrying case with purchase. The Dédicaces ebook reader for optimal reading comfort.
While Dr. Duger is performing an experiment with his vehicle, the Boomerang, he discovers a time portal. He decides to go back in time to help the father of his best friend. Then, due to an accident, he ends up at the end of the 19th century, where he marries the beautiful biochemist Sybil Baxton. However, the scientist learns that journeying through time can have disastrous and surprising consequences. Available at abebooks.com.
Hi, I'm Evie Atchison on the red carpet with Skippy, who has some exciting news coming up with Sundance, I believe.
Well, I guess so. Right now, everything is in year-round preparation for Sundance. Like, you know how some people like count down to either like their birthday or Christmas or something like that? I would say birthday, my Christmas, I would say Thanksgiving, all that rolled up into one. New Year's is all Sundance for me. So like the countdown is on. I've got a hotel room booked that's my parents' timeshare, and so no lie, they might be staying in the other room. But you know, you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, Sundance is coming, and I don't know, I get geeked out for it. I just am like, wow, people like during the summer should be wearing coats. That's more my style, you know?
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, yeah. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Thank you.
What do you have coming up?
Oh, stuff. I'm a new host on this awesome show called Filmed in Utah.
I heard that. Yeah. Your co-host is a man that I would say that a lot of men want to be and that women want to be with, right? That's kind of the saying? He's kind of like the Derek Jeter of Utah, and I just wonder if he gives women that he's with a like gift bag like Derek Jeter does, right? Like as he's departing, like maybe an autographed photo. If I ever get where I get to the point where I get chicks, right? I might have to have like a Skippy. Oh crap! You know what? I do. I've got Skippy rape whistles. I've got a Skippy rape whistle. It says thanks to Skippy, I didn't get raped. And I wonder if I have anything else on me. I've got my fake business card.
Oh, very
That's pretty great. Yeah. Let's see. I'll be giving out kisses all night long here at the party. Yeah.
Says you just met Skippy. Lucky you.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Well,
great.
thank you.
You're
well,
welcome.
good luck with the...
Thanks. Yeah, with Sundance, and then after that, who knows? Still hoping that I get my own reality show, but we'll see how that goes. TMZ, if you want to hire me, you can. Yeah.
How excited are you about being at the premiere tonight?
I'm more nervous than I am excited right now.
How are you feeling right now?
I am so excited. I feel so privileged to be a part of such a fun project, something that went way above and beyond what we thought it would, and it's just catching fire, and I love it. I love being a part of it.
The Hercules of the Honeys is here to talk about how you're feeling now that all these people are here to watch you on the big screen.
Woo! This is my moment in the Coliseum, I guess.
Who's your gladiator? Who's your gladiator you're fighting tonight? What are the nerves that are really getting to you?
What are the nerves getting to me?
Yeah, are you getting anxious about just the audience seeing it, or yourself seeing it, or your mom seeing it? What's really the biggest nerve-wracking experience for you?
I just want everyone to love Fitch. That's what I want. I want the Hercules of the Honeys to be a household name and be an influence to kids across the world.
So I got Tatum here, who's one of the main reasons people are here to see Chick Magnets, really. Let's be honest, okay? Everyone loves to see a beautiful, talented actress, myself included. So first off, thank you for being in this film. How excited are you to be in this main premiere tonight here at the Jordan Commons?
I am really excited. I mean, it's kind of a mix of emotions, excited, nervous, but just honestly just thrilled that, I mean, that the crew was able to get the film here at Megaplex. I'm just thrilled.
Now, is this your first time seeing the film?
It is, actually. I think it is actually most of the cast's first time seeing it, at least those that weren't involved in post-production. So I'm going to be seeing it for the first time with everybody here.
I've got Katherine Maure here with me, and she's directed the resistance movement. Now, what was this like, first off, filming a stage play as a feature film and directing the whole thing? Were you directing more as a stage director or as a film director?
Our whole rehearsal process was very much like a stage play. So we rehearsed it like a stage play. I mean, full-on scenes. We rehearsed for a couple months. The actors came to rehearsals completely memorized, all that kind of thing. So the rehearsal process was very much like a stage play. And then as far as the actual filming, Nathan, my director of photography, is fantastic, and it was a great combination of the two of us. My background is mostly theater, and his is mostly film. So it was a great combo for me to be able to tell him what I was going for, and then he could translate that for me into film language. So.
Now, because everyone came so prepared, most film shoots take no less than 3 weeks. I mean, that's if you're rushing it. How long did it take for this film to be shot?
We actually shot this entire film in 8 days.
8 days.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was humanly possible, but a feature film in 8 days. Now, was this because there was really just one location?
Yeah, definitely the location thing helped because we didn't have to, and also it was all shot indoors, so we didn't have to worry about daylight, things like that. We could control the entire environment. And then also, like you said, just because everyone was so prepared, I pushed them really hard in rehearsal so that by the time we got to filming, everyone knew what to do, and it was already right there and ready to go. So.
Well, I think you sold me on doing all my feature films as stage plays from now on, so that I don't have to spend more than 8 days on the entire project.
It was amazing.
That sounds like my type of project right there.
It was a crazy 8 days, but it was it was awesome, and there was just a great vibe there too because we were able to work so quickly, and it was great for the energy as well. It was a lot of fun.
So I'm here at X Dance with Bryan Wimmer, the whole film festival organizer. Tell me a little bit about what X Dance is.
X Dance is a film festival for just action sports. We bring in action sports films from all over the world. We're like the combination of like the Sundance Film Festival meets the Academy Awards.
And I've seen some of the films that are up here already. Beautiful photography, great stories for a very targeted demographic for people who make action films. How important is a film festival like this to filmmakers who focus primarily on action films?
Well, we're kind of the top dog in the world right now. Because we don't really play the game of what's the best, let's say, snowboarding film, okay? What we will tell you is what's the best cinematography, what's the best editing, music, story. We take the whole, sport game out. We don't care what your sport is. We love the action sports, but we want to get the filmmaking to another level. This was all inspired by the Sundance Film Festival. I'm from Sundance, actually the real Sundance. If you're from Utah, you know there's a real place called Sundance.
There's a real Sundance.
It's not a place in Salt Lake, in Park City that happens for 10 days. And I've been around it my whole life, and it was inspired by that. Being an action sports athlete and a filmmaker, I realized that the story wasn't getting told. We were seeing a lot of action porn, as we called it. And what we needed to do is lift this whole genre, and we have done that. There are stories, just phenomenal stories being told, because these guys are risking life and limb to get this footage. And the stories behind it make it important. Once you vest your audience, people care about what they're watching. I mean, someone can be doing the most dangerous thing in the world over and over. By the third time, you don't really care, because you don't know anything about it. We want to know. We want to get in the heart and the soul of the athlete. What drives an athlete to push himself that far?
And why was it important to bring X Dance and keep it here in Utah instead of going somewhere else?
Utah, I think, is the mecca for action sports. There's so much of it because of the diversity of Utah when it comes to the mountains and the desert and everything from motocross to backcountry skiing, everything. It's all here. We don't have surfing, but we have our versions of it. Wake surfing and stand-up paddle and stuff like that. But you know what? This is one of the great meccas for all of action sports, and they have been unbelievably hospitable to us. I mean, Salt Lake City has just literally opened all the doors. Bring it, because these are our people. These are the kind of people that we want to have here, because we all it takes place out of doors, and Utah's magical when it comes to out of doors.
Last week, Jason Alexander was at the UVU campus holding workshops with the theater students. At the end of the week, Jason spoke to over 1,000 fans at the UVU ballroom, answering questions from the audience.
I have a lot of nice things that George doesn't have, but I don't think I'm anything like him. I also will tell you, Larry David is not exactly like Larry David. Kramer is not like Kramer. Michael Richards is not Kramer. Michael Richards is crazy in other ways, but not like Kramer. So don't be fooled by the illusions. Yes, waving hand, 2 hands.
2 questions.
2 questions, well, we'll see.
What's your proudest accomplishment? What thing have you accomplished that you're most proud of? And can you do a magic trick?
Hey, I once heard you dive from a 100-foot board into an inch of water. Can you do that tonight, too? My proudest accomplishment, undoubtedly, are my children. Without any question. And I have to say, I don't usually talk about this. I usually talk about it in very specific places, but My children are both in vitro because my wife and I had 5 years of unexplainable infertility, where we had every test in the book done. And they looked at us and went, it all works, it's all there, you know. And you have no idea what hell that can be on a marriage. I mean, when the product of loving each other doesn't produce the result it's supposed to produce and they can't tell you why, you gotta have a really good marriage. And we did, and we worked really hard for those boys. And they are, you know, people always say, are you religious? I'm not religious, I'm incredibly spiritual. And I have friends that are absolute atheists, and they go, why do you believe in God? Exactly, why do you believe in God? I go, because I have 2 miracles. Every day. Every day.
Well, if you're a social media junkie like I am, you've probably seen that the 2nd annual Filmed in Utah Awards is going full bore online right now because it's happening on February 16th. And yes, you can still get free tickets. All you have to do is go to filmedinutah.com. Click on this gigantic banner and then put in your name and your email address, and we'll send you your free tickets to the Filmed in Utah Awards. Now, again, the Filmed in Utah Awards is February 16th. The doors will open at 6 o'clock, so you need to, actually, the show starts at 6 o'clock, doesn't it? Okay. Again, Filmed in Utah, no. Again, the Filmed in Utah Awards is on February 16th. Now, the doors are opening right about 5:30. The show's going to start at 6 o'clock. We have a bit of a pre-show that's happening out in the lobby, and we're going to have roughly 1,000 people at the award show. And guess what? Did I mention again? The tickets are free. So if you want to attend and see the very best that was nominated in the Filmed in Utah Awards, you're going to see it this year, February 16th, at the Grand Theater up in Salt Lake City. Get your tickets right now.
Pictures up. Wide on set. All right, roll sound.
Sound speedy.
Roll camera.
Camera speed.
All right, mark the shot.
Scene 6B, take 3, marker.
Action.
Well, we've reached that part in the show where I get to give away some more free stuff, courtesy of the team up at Éditions Dédicaces, our wonderful sponsors to the north. I want to thank Éditions Dédicaces. Every single week, they have been a true sponsor for Filmed in Utah, which has been able to bring you the very best in Utah's film scene. Now, this week, look what they're giving us. You got a mouse pad from Éditions Dédicaces. It's the 2013 calendar printed on top. This is a great reference point. Say you don't have your iPhone on you and you just need to get this through. Here you go. This is going to be given to you for free. All you have to do is send me an email at filmedinutah@gmail.com, and in the subject line, put in mousepad. I'm here with Andrew Locke, my good friend down here at the Salt Lake studio, and Andrew has had a lot of experience doing so many great things. I just wanted to share some of his experiences and tell you about his studio here in Salt Lake. Andrew, can you give me a little background on, well, how you got into the whole broadcasting on web TV and a little bit about your studio?
Well, my original background was as a TV camera operator. I don't know if you actually knew that, but for the BBC and other companies in England. And I really enjoyed it, but I also had kind of an entrepreneurial leaning, and so I studied marketing as well. And I soon realized that what they taught in the business textbooks that were, you know, I guess, created in the 19th century really doesn't work. It's outdated. The world is moving at such a fast pace these days. So really it was a merge of those two interests, and that's what led me to web TV. I created a show called Help! My Business Sucks, which I know you've seen, and it's, you know, an entertaining style. It tries to create practical information and convey that in a fun way, which is not what most business training is.
Not at all. Most business training is incredibly dull, but Andrew delivers his show with humor, and it makes it so that it's very engaging. I believe you're ranked #1 on iTunes.
Yep.
How long have you been ranked #1 in business marketing on iTunes, and how did you do that?
Well, I started the show in, I think it was 2008. I actually forget now. About 2008. It took me about 6 or 7 months, and I really actually wasn't trying to get to #1. In fact, I didn't even know. I knew I was on iTunes, but it was someone else that told me, hey, did you realize you're #1 out of tens of thousands? And not only that, it was #1 above Advertising Age, Business Week, Harvard Business Review, all these big organizations. So I was as surprised as anybody. So.
Now, Andrew, one of the things that you do so well is you talk about marketing. That's really the whole point of Help My Business Sucks. One of the things that most filmmakers, especially independent filmmakers, have the opportunity to do is really explode on the marketing scene like no one else has ever done before.
Sure.
And what kind of suggestions would you have for people who really have no rules in marketing? What could they do to help, say, promote a film?
Well, you've really got to stand out from the crowd. You've got to find your core audience. You've got to know who the target audience is for the film, whatever it is, and then really hone in on them. In other words, where are they hanging out online? There's maybe forums or discussion groups, maybe meetup groups, that kind of thing. So hone in on that exact target audience and do it in a creative way. Because otherwise, you know, you're just going to be lost in all those other messages that people are bombarded with. So stand out from the crowd, do something that really kind of pops and makes people say, oh, this is interesting.
Also, you have a fantastic resource here in Salt Lake, which most people really don't know about.
It's kind of a hidden resource, you're right. It's, in fact, probably just because it's so new, but it's called Salt Lake Studio. It's a fantastic custom-built facility. We're actually standing in one of the sets right now. We have a huge green screen, about 20 foot wide. It's an infinity green screen as well. We have virtual set technology, the new tech TriCaster. We have 5 EX1 Sony HD cameras. I'm getting geeky now.
That's okay. That's our audience right there. We're all a bunch of film geeks, and we love all these cameras. We love all the things that you have here, and this is the best resource. Where can people find more information about this studio?
Well, thank you for asking. There's a website called Salt Lake City Studio, saltlakeCitystudio.com. And all of the information is on there. You'll see pictures, you'll see the equipment list. We also have a training room, which is kind of themed around Hollywood, like a back lot there upstairs. And I think it's a fun place to work. And of course, you know, lots of possibilities creatively.
I agree. This studio really has a lot of great resources to any type of filmmaker, whether you're looking to do a full-on feature film, we're looking to do a web TV show, working to do a talk show, really anything you're looking for, you can do here at the studio. So I strongly recommend first taking a look at the website, but also watching Andrew's show, Help My Business Sucks. And you'll also get some great tips on how to increase your film business just in the marketing. Well, that's going to do it for me on this episode of Filmed in Utah. It's been a wonderful year, guys. Thank you for sharing your lives and your experiences here in Utah's film scene with me. It's been a joy. And for me and everybody here at the Filmed in Utah crew, thank you, and I'll see you in 2013.